guys, welcome to this episode of All About the Apple. Apple just released their new iPad Air and iPad mini with retina display, and I'm here to show you some of the new features and everything that we get and what we don't get. So first up we have the iPad Air, which is the new name because it's so thin and light. It sounds a little strange given that the MacBook Air has the same Air in its name, but if you think about it, it really does kind of work because it is really thin and light, so I guess it does kind of make sense. But here we have an interactive product page. It says here, the power of lightness, and kind of the same thing that they boasted with the iPad mini. They really touted how the iPad mini was so light, and now they're doing the same thing with the iPad Air. So it really is a dramatic redesign, but it is still pretty familiar because the iPad mini has the same design with the diamond chamfered edges, and the really thin light design. As you can see, this pretty much looks like the iPad Air that they're showing, especially since it is running iOS 7. If you minimize this, it kind of looks like an iPad Air, actually, like the image they're showing. It kind of does because it basically is the same exact design. And in the video, the product announcement video, they say that they have been working on this design for a while. So it seems to me that they were working on this design and they decided to put it in the iPad mini, and then a year later put it in the full-size iPad because they obviously weren't ready to bring it to the full-size iPad yet, or they wanted to kind of give some distinction for a year between those two designs. So we can swipe here, we see that there's an all-new design. It's a ton of advanced technology in just £1. Apple always does those little plays on words and stuff like that. But it is 20% thinner and 28% lighter, and it weighs just £1. So that is pretty cool. It definitely is a lot of technology in a very thin and light package, but again, this is something that we saw with the iPad mini, so it kind of ruins all the wonder because we did see this in the iPad mini. But still, it is pretty cool. Here we have the A7 chip. It's desktop class architecture with no desktop required, because it is 64 bits, so that is pretty cool. Just like the iPhone 5S. And then, of course, we have advanced wireless. We have the new MIMO, which is new wireless technology, 2 times faster, 2 antennas for Wi-Fi and cellular, stuff like that. So improvements there. As you can see there, it looks like an iPad mini. It's actually hard to distinguish them. The bezels are 43% thinner. 43% thinner. They do look, I guess, if you compare it to my iPad mini here, I guess they look a little bit, maybe just a slight bit bigger, or maybe that's because the iPad itself is bigger. The iPad Air is bigger than the iPad mini, so maybe that's why it looks just a little bigger. Then, of course, the iOS 7 runs on it, and they say how it works just excellent with iOS 7. But it seems like it does. This design looks a lot better to me with iOS 7 on it than does the full-size iPad. But that is pretty much the iPad Air. What we didn't get was a gold color. We didn't get a better camera, and we didn't get a Touch ID on the home button. I was very disappointed when they showed it on the keynote, and there was that gray circle on the home button. I was like, seriously? That was the biggest letdown for me, because Apple always is the innovation, the innovators. They always do that with the iPhone. Like with the iPhone 5S, it had the amazing Touch ID sensor. Why wouldn't you put that in the iPad? And why wouldn't you bring the gold color and have that frenzied rush of things and everything? It's just like, that just really is the biggest annoyance to me. Like, in fact, probably the reason why I won't be upgrading my current iPad mini, because the only difference is a retina display and a processor that probably won't make too much difference in what I use it for. So that's just kind of annoying to me. And so let's go to the iPad mini and let's see if it'll work here. It seems like the page was down for some reason earlier, probably because of all the traffic. Let's see if it works. Yeah, it says cannot open the page because too many redirects occurred. I don't know why that is, but the iPad mini with retina display, it's not coming up for some reason. So I don't know why that would be, but I guess I can show you in the compare iPad model, so I can show you some of the specs here. The iPad mini with retina display is pretty much just an iPad mini with a retina display, pretty much just like it said, and an A7 64-bit chip. That's about it, and a higher price tag. I don't know why they did this. I mean, $399, seriously? $329 is the price for the iPad mini, the original one. Now it's $299. Which makes this look even more expensive because, I mean, I guess for a lot of people, a retina display is worth that, but I think they should have made it like $249 and kept the price tag because they did that with the original iPad. But, this is Apple. They truly have proven that they don't care about making budget products, and, well, actually that they do, it's just that they're not going to have all the high-end features that their high-end products do, which is kind of the same strategy Android products usually have, just don't have features, but they are, newer. Whereas Apple's devices, you have an option to get a lot of new features and high-end stuff. If you want to pay the money, or if you don't want to pay the money, you can get like a free iPhone 4 on contract, or right now it's an iPhone 4S on contract, or you can get a $399 iPad 2 or a $299 iPad mini, and yes, they're older, but it'll give you the full Apple experience for a lot less than the latest greatest. Or you could get the latest greatest if you want to spend the money. So that's pretty cool what they're doing. I guess I shouldn't complain. $399 just seems a little bit kind of a strange thing that they would do, because they always make the current, or make the full-size iPad, like today, like we saw it even with today, we got the redesign of the iPad Air, and it is the same price, and you get a lot of new features, like a lot more thinness and lightness, but I guess, and that is something that they say that you should, charge more for, even though when they did get the Retina display, it kept the same price. So it seems kind of, I guess it kind of makes sense when you compare it to the current iPad. I mean, the iPad mini, when you compare, like, okay, well, $299, that's what they're charging, and then they charge $100 more for Retina display. That kind of makes sense, and a faster processor. But when you think of what they did before with the iPad 2, and then the iPad 3rd generation, where they gave the feature of the Retina display without charging any more, it just seems kind of strange. But then, of course, the iPad mini with Retina display, it hasn't changed a bit with dimensions or anything, although it does have a Retina display, which makes it a lot better, and it has the A7 processor with motion coprocessor, and it has a FaceTime HD camera with, I guess the same. I thought they upgraded it, but it doesn't seem like they're showing it here. I thought for sure they said it had 180p HD video, but I guess not. Just a little marketing strategy, I guess. Oh, in this you have 3 times video zoom in the 1080p HD video recording. I guess you have 3 times video zoom. Okay. I guess that's what they were talking about. Okay. I had the wrong thing. But that is the new iPad lineup. So it is nice that they are keeping around the older models, because it's still on iOS 7, and you can get an iPad for $299 now, and a decent iPad. It's the exact one I have here, actually. Well, I have the 32GB one, but I'd have to say, if I was shopping for an iPad, I would probably go with the 1st gen mini, because seriously, the Retina display is nice. Like, I had a 3rd gen iPad and switched to the mini, and I really don't notice all that much of a difference. I mean, when you read text, like right now, the text here, like on Safari, is not really that noticeable. And it seems to me like with iOS 7, it's not as noticeable. Like, maybe because I never experienced iOS 7 on the Retina display, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it'd be worth the upgrade. If they threw a Touch ID in there, I would totally be sold. Or an 8-megapixel camera, I would be totally just super excited to get this iPad. This new iPad mini, but I really am not that excited about it. And it seems crazy, because I always am excited about the Apple product launches, even if I don't end up getting them. But I really don't put myself wanting them. So, let's see if it will show us the tech specs. Oh, here we go. We got the tech specs on the iPad mini with Retina display. We have the space black, or space gray. Maybe have the dimensions, a little bit more of a thing. Retina display here. Tells us about it. A7 chip. All that good stuff. And that's pretty much it. Built-in apps, free apps from Apple. Oh, this is another thing I'll definitely point out. iPhoto, iMovie, GarageBand, Pages, Numbers, and Keynote have all been updated. But for free, you can now get them, although it seems like I'm trying to update my iPad now and it's not working. I deleted the app and reinstalled it, and it's giving me the old version. I don't know why that is, probably because there's such a high volume of people trying to get it. And OS X Mavericks has also been released for free. They're giving it away for free in the App Store, and that's not for a limited time. That's for good. It is free. And that's also available today, as well as the Mac Pro is released for $2,099, which seems crazy to me, but I guess for that kind of power, that's what you need to pay, I guess. And then the MacBook Pros with Retina display are still available, and they've been updated with the latest Haswell processors, better graphics, all that good stuff. Pretty much just the average incremental upgrade that you get. They are cheaper though. They're $12.99 and $11.99, or $12.99 and $19.99 respectively for the 13 and 15-inch versions. And if you go into buy now, there is the 13-inch one still available. The 13-inch MacBook Pro, the standard one without the Retina display, is still available. But for only $100 more, you could get a Retina display. So that really doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you not get a Retina display if you could? Like, $400 more. I guess if you do really want, if you really want that DVD drive and stuff, I guess you would go for it, or the extra storage. But really, to me, it doesn't really seem like that good of a deal. Although this is a killer deal that I can't finish the video without showing you. Let me scroll into the bottom here. They do have new smart covers and smart cases as well. $79 and $39, and I believe $69 for the smart case. For the mini, $79 for the full size, and then the covers are both $39 with whatever size you get. You can see there. Their colors are a bit different from last time, but most of them are the same. There's a few new ones, though. Alright, here we go. If we go on the refurbishing clearance, and we go to Shop Mac, and we go into refurbish Mac, sorry about that, and we go to MacBook Pro 13-inch, we see this amazing deal, a Retina display MacBook Pro, the last generation version, for only $1,059. Maybe that sounds outrageous to you, but it's $440 off. That's 1/3 the price. 30% off, almost 29% off. That is amazing for a Retina Display Pro. It's absolutely unheard of as far as deals go. And you get a 2.5 gigahertz processor, dual core with the Retina display, and in the comment section below, please let me know what you will or won't be buying, and thanks for watching.